Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. We got a lot to get to today, but I don't want to bury the lead. The biggest story of the day in my household is we got a birthday boy here with us today in studio. Young Bishop Hand is joining me. Your birthday is officially tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But we weren't going to miss the opportunity to have you in the radio station to celebrate.
Yeah.
All right. So how old are you today?
5.
Last day as a 5-year-old. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah? How old do you turn tomorrow?
6.
That's big time. That's big time. Are you excited?
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
You tell everybody where we're going tonight?
We're going to wrestling.
I know. So it's just going to be the boys, right? It's going to be you, me, and your older brother, Brooks.
Yeah, and we're going to stay at the hotel for 1 day.
1 day, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to stay up wicked late.
Yeah.
We're going to have so much fun.
We might buy some wrestling belts, right?
We might. You never know. We might.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
It's
and
your
you
birthday.
might give me a birthday present.
I'm definitely getting you a birthday present. I'm definitely getting you a birthday present.
I already got birthday figures.
Yeah, we're already unwrapping some presents. It's like a birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty lucky. The way it lines up, I mean, you're going to have like 3 days of a birthday here.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm very excited. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
I'm sorry that I'm here too.
All right, cool. Well, Bishop is in studio. The birthday is officially tomorrow, and we are going to be celebrating here on the Chris Hand Show. So, Bishop, you going to hang out with us? You're gonna talk a little bit what's going on with Trump and immigration?
Kind of.
You think he's doing a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. We didn't rehearse that, right?
Yeah.
Who are you more a fan of, Trump or Joe Biden?
Trump.
Yep, good answer. Good answer. Where'd you learn that?
From you guys.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Bishop's going to be hanging out with us all show long, and we're going to have a lot of fun. If you get bored, man, Mom packed you, what was that, a briefcase full of snacks? Bishop's the one that's perpetually hungry.
There's fish toys.
Oh yeah. We got some stuff in here. We got some stuff. So Bishop is perpetually hungry. So if you need snacks, you're gonna break into the briefcase.
I'm not going to break in because it's my brother Brooks.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to sip it up.
Okay, perfect. All right, hang out with us. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation today on the Chris Hand Show. Kicking things off, I do want to get into what's going on with the Epstein files. We learned last night that they're still reviewing the Epstein files, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bishop, for joining us today. But the Department of Justice is still reviewing the Jeffrey Epstein-related records for the possible release, which is weird because, if I recall correctly, the memo said that the case was closed. But this is according to a new joint court filing submitted by Judicial Watch and the DOJ. So this announcement does come after that leaked internal memo from the DOJ and FBI saying that there would be no further public disclosures about Epstein. But Judicial Watch revealed that they had a July 7th filing stating that the DOJ and the FBI are continuing to search for and evaluate records tied to Epstein, including material that could reveal the identities of his clients or associates. The update is in direct contradiction to the unsigned and undated memo that was disclosed on July 6th, which declared that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. Judicial Watch filed its Freedom of Information Act lawsuit in April of 2025 after the DOJ failed to respond to 3 separate FOIA requests made in February. The requests were aimed at several DOJ divisions, including the Office of Information Policy, the Criminal Division, and 2 separate FBI offices. According to the joint status report, the FBI has completed some searches, but is still reviewing the material. My head's spinning with the Epstein stuff. Is your head spinning with the Epstein stuff? Everybody's head's spinning with the Epstein. So they're still reviewing, but the case is closed. It's pretty intense. I don't really know where the truth is on this. It's kind of like a wait-and-see approach. There's rumors on the internet that Trump is ordering the release of more documents, but I haven't seen anything official. There's rumors on the internet that nothing's coming out because Trump and his associates are implicated. I don't believe the Trump stuff. The associates, you could talk me into. Alan Dershowitz was on the Sean Spicer show yesterday. And you remember Spicy Sean? He was the press secretary for Donald Trump, the first administration. So he's a show on, I think it's Newsmax now, where his show is. And he was talking about how he was accused of being on the list. And Alan Dershowitz says that because of that accusal and the legal matters that he had to go through, he actually knows the names on the Epstein list. And he says that Epstein files are being suppressed. This was Alan Dershowitz yesterday on the, the Sean Spicer show. This is Alan Dershowitz. Oh, hang on. Why's that audio doubling up? You guys, is that on your side? We good? Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. That's KGB and our good friend Sam in the back. This is Alan Dershowitz on Sean Spicer.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
I mean, this is a pretty explosive claim by Alan Dershowitz, is it not? Especially given the light of everything we've seen the past few days. It's explosive. And I'll be honest with you, when Alan Dershowitz was first named on the Epstein list, I was like, man, you're guilty. And I think it's important to note that there's going to be names on the list that aren't guilty. And when I listen to this clip from Alan Dershowitz, I'm like, good for you. You're pushing back and you're fighting. And I wonder why more people haven't done that. Wouldn't you think if you were rumored to be on the Epstein list and you had nothing to do with it, that you would be fighting tooth and nail to have these documents released? To have your name not be sullied by this case. You would think. I've only seen Alan Dershowitz do it. He continues.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are, at least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them, but they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money. And those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed. And they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser.
I love that. If the accusation's out there, so should be the information that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. And again, you would think with a lot of these elites, celebrities, politicians, business leaders, you would think that someone would be clamoring to have their name cleared. Someone would be shouting from the mountaintops that they had nothing to do with this. But it seems like those individuals that are rumored to be on these lists are quiet as a church mouse when it comes to having the documents released, except for one, Alan Dershowitz.
We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Other people should want these documents so that way they can clear their name. But again, I've only heard it from Alan Dershowitz. That's it. That's the only one. Behind the scenes, the Washington Post is saying that anonymous sources are telling them that the Trump admin are currently firing and pushing out employees at the DOJ and FBI with zero explanation or warning. A lot of individuals on the internet are trying to link this to the Epstein files and say that Trump is cleaning house over there. I think it's more linked to that Supreme Court decision that Trump could lay off federal workers, but I think give it a little bit more time. We'll see what happens there. I do know that Chelsea Clinton is getting raked on Twitter over the coals. Chelsea Clinton put on X that the Clinton Foundation is going to step up and help flood victims. And then she was mocked relentlessly, brutally, because of her ties to Epstein. Daily Mail has this story. Chelsea Clinton was brutally mocked online after she announced that her family's foundation was on the ground to help relief efforts in Texas after floods left more than 100 dead. You had individuals that are replying to Chelsea Clinton's tweet saying, "Oh, Clinton Foundation's on the ground. Hide your kids." Oh, jeez. It's harsh. It's true. It's harsh. So she outlined the specific efforts in the state, but the social media users kept replying with things like "hide your kids." One of them said, "Is that the foundation that paid for your glamorous wedding?" While attaching a picture of Chelsea Clinton's wedding with Ghislaine Maxwell in the background. Yikes! Not a good look. Not a good look. Another Twitter user said, "No one wants your help. No one wants your family to be meddling in American affairs." I don't know why Chelsea Clinton is putting herself in the public spotlight, especially given the light of all the news and her dad being tied to it. I would go into hiding. I mean, a lot of these individuals have so much money. Why would you continue to put yourself in the public limelight and be blasted with these kind of accusations? I wouldn't put myself through it or my family. Chelsea Clinton, I don't understand what she's doing. Megyn Kelly weighed in on the responses to Chelsea Clinton saying that the Clinton Foundation was going to help in Texas, and all of the Epstein, the Epstein accusations in the comments. Megyn Kelly started by saying, the replies to this post are amazing. And she was referencing the Chelsea Clinton, members of the Clinton global community are on the ground in Texas supporting families post, right? So then Chelsea Clinton decides to reply to Megyn Kelly. She says, "Hi, Megyn. I'm sure any of the organizations I mentioned, which are on the ground in Texas, would welcome your support. I would be happy to put you in touch directly. We all need to support those impacted by the tragic floods in Kirk County and surrounding areas." Totally agree with the statement and the message. Completely disagree with the quality of the messenger. And Megyn Kelly seems to be on that same page, replying, "Chelsea, what we are seeing in the replies to your post is that while you love to play fake philanthropist, absolutely no one wants your family of grifters anywhere near those suffering in Texas, Haiti, or anywhere else." I'm reminded of the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. You know, Hillary said, "Oh, it takes a village," and said, "Oh, Trump said, well, in Haiti, you know, I heard you took a few." That wasn't a debate. That was actually the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Do you remember that? Trump, when he looked at Hillary Clinton, he said that you took a few village. Do you remember that? I remember it like it was yesterday because when it got dropped, it was like the meme where it's the rat beef meme, right? Where all the kids are like, "Oh," and they're doing their hands on their head. That's how I remember it. That's how I remember it. But in Haiti, you took a few. That was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner right before the 2016 election. It was ruthless, absolute savagery done by Donald Trump. We've come accustomed to that. Steve Bannon is calling for a special prosecutor to release all of the Epstein files. I'm here for that. I think that we do need a bit more, especially because you just can't trust Pam Bondi. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, I understand why people are disappointed with them, but the Pam Bondi stuff is just ick. I mean, you were the AG of Florida while Epstein was doing all this. Now you're talking on getting busted on hidden camera talking about the files, saying that the files are on your desk, and then you come out and you say, no, there's no more files. There's no more files. Pam Bondi has been a bit of a disappointment. I wanted to talk about there's Bondi made some changes to the DOJ policy that really benefited her former client Pfizer too. I'm not a Pam Bondi fan. I'm not. Wait until you hear this story though about what was going on with her and Pfizer and how these changes that she made benefited Pfizer. We'll talk about that when we get back. We got a lot to cover today on the show. We are going to dive into immigration and what happened in Los Angeles yesterday. Don't forget, we do have a birthday boy in studio. The one, the only Bishop Hand is turning 6 years old tomorrow. So he's hanging out with me today in studio. Very excited to have you here, buddy. Thank you for putting up with all the politics so we can hang out. Yeah. Can you put his mic on for a second for me? All right. Yeah, your mic's on, buddy. What do you got? Do you want to close it out? Do you want to say this is Super Talk 99.7 WTN?
This is Super Talk 997 WTN.
A major traffic problem in downtown this morning, and if you've been trying to get into the city, you probably already know that. We'll give you the latest. Also, evacuations now near the Grand Canyon, and a country music singer involved in a fatal pedestrian accident facing charges now. We'll have that story and more at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Jay Harper in the newsroom. It is 9:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? Chris Hand here. You can listen to the show anywhere. The iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the 99.7 WTN app, the FM dial. You can watch the show, too. We're now on Rumble, which is pretty exciting. Search 99.7 WTN, or you can stick with one of your usuals, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, our personal favorite, YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe. We do appreciate it when you do. I got a lot of kids to feed. Right, Bishop?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people like and subscribe to the show, we get to do fun things like go to wrestling for your birthday, right? Yeah. So will you ask the people to please continue to like and subscribe? Mm-hmm. Say hit the like button, guys.
Hit the like button, guys.
Say you wouldn't want me to go hungry, would you?
You wouldn't want me to go hungry, would you?
I don't think they would. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate it when you do so. So Pam Bondi may have made some changes to DOJ policy, or she did make the changes, but these changes may have benefited her former client, Pfizer. That's interesting. For the past several years, pharmaceutical giant Pfizer has been under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice for potential foreign corruption violations related to its activities in China and Mexico, according to the company's financial filings. But that appears to have changed after the Trump administration tapped one Pam Bondi, previously an outside legal counsel for Pfizer, to lead the Justice Department as AG. In the company's most recent annual report filed 3 weeks after Bondi took office in early February, there was no longer any reference to Justice Department investigations into the company's potential violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act. A quarterly report in May also contains no reference to these investigations, which leads one to ask, did Pam crush those investigations because she's cozy with Pfizer? On her first day in office, Bondi rolled back the enforcement of foreign corruption cases that didn't involve drug cartels and international crime organizations, which I don't know about you, but I think drug cartel and international crime organization describes Pfizer perfectly, actually. Among a host of sweeping changes she made to the department's priorities, the move was followed 5 days later on February 10th by a related executive order issued by President Trump that paused new foreign corruption investigations and enforcement actions. The Justice Department also reportedly reduced the number of attorneys working on such cases and closed nearly half of existing foreign corruption cases. Bondi's stated goal in making the changes was removing bureaucratic impediments to aggressive prosecutions. But the actions she and Trump took were widely seen as a signal that the Justice Department would be less interested in pursuing allegations that major corporations like Pfizer paid bribes to win business abroad. Pfizer is among several companies that filed financial documents this year, suggesting that the Justice Department has dropped their federal corruption investigations. Not a fan of Pam Bondi. It seems like the more I learn about Pam Bondi, the less impressed I am with Pam Bondi. And I've heard for a while that she's really not long for this job. She really wants to land herself a nice primetime slot on Fox News. Luckily, though, I think she has tarnished her credibility to such an extent at this point that will never happen unless you're really okay with, I don't know, Newsmax or OAN. And even those networks I don't think would hire Pam Bondi at this point. We got a lot more to cover on the way. Hang out with us. Bishop is in studio celebrating his 6th birthday. Happy birthday, brother. Appreciate you being here. It's 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. Yep, it's 9:30, and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. We'll get you a weather forecast here, but traffic has kind of been at the top of the news locally here this morning. Still dealing with an issue. A semi-truck crashed at the I-24 and I-40 split here earlier this morning. The semi was traveling eastbound on 40 when the driver left the roadway, went down an embankment, and landed on the westbound lanes into oncoming traffic. The semi was hauling electrical parts, including transformers that are leaking oil. The hazmat was called to the scene, and they're trying to contain 150 gallons of diesel fuel that's also been involved. I'm looking at traffic cameras right now, and they are still dealing with that, trying to clean things up, and the roadway there is closed, so That's probably going to be the case for a while. The driver of that semi, he was transported to the hospital with minor injuries. A wildfire near the Grand Canyon is now forcing evacuations. ABC's Ginger Z has that story.
The White Sage Fire prompting urgent evacuations at the Grand Canyon, forcing the closure of the North Rim as it's burning more than 1,000 acres so far. Grand Canyon National Park is under an extreme heat warning through the weekend, with temperatures expected to reach 115 degrees in low elevations.
Back here in Nashville, the country music singer who struck and killed a 77-year-old pedestrian in Germantown is now being charged with a misdemeanor. News 2's Bob Mueller has more.
Metro Police say country music artist Connor Smith is facing charges connected with the death of a woman hit by his truck in Germantown back on June 8th. Investigators say Smith struck 77-year-old Dorothy Dobbins as she was in a marked crosswalk on 3rd Avenue North. Now, police say Smith did stop and try to help until paramedics arrived. Dobbins later died at the hospital. Smith is now charged with failure to yield the right-of-way, resulting in death, a Class A misdemeanor. Officers say they found no evidence of impairment or distracted driving from him. He is to appear in court on August the 7th.
That is the latest news. Weather's on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It is vacation season, and you don't want to let a plumbing disaster ruin your peace of mind while you're away. So right now, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is offering a smart Wi-Fi shut-off water valve installed by their expert techs for only $12.49 this July only. That's serious peace of mind at a great price. And if you're looking to upgrade comfort in your home, well, get a new HVAC system from Busy Bee, and you'll also land free air duct fogging and a UV light home treatment because clean air matters. Maybe you don't need the HVAC system, but you're like, hey, the air duct cleaning sounds pretty good. Well, if you buy the middle tier air duct cleaning package in July, they'll upgrade you to the Lux package for free. Busy Bee takes care of its customers. Big plumbing problems, get $1,000 off full home water and drain line replacements. Need a repair? Book service, they'll waive the dispatch fee, and Busy Bee will make it so easy to pay for that HVAC unit. 0% financing for 18 months with approved credit. Call Busy Bee today, 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, busybeehvac.com. 937 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Love those guys. Bishop has been reading your birthday messages. Thank you for sending them. Very, very happy. This kid's had permagrin on all morning. My son is in here. His 6th birthday's tomorrow, so we're having a lot of fun. But we're still covering the news as well. There's a lot of news to get to. Oh my gosh, is there a lot of news to get to? For starters, we do have a manhunt going on for a Texas Antifa member that was involved in that ambush on ICE agents. Let's put this loser's picture up on the screen. Can you do that for me? Just in case you're watching on Super Talk TV, on Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube. This loser, Benjamin Hanil Song, is currently the target of an FBI manhunt. He was allegedly involved in that ambush shooting outside the ICE detention center in Texas. He is also allegedly an Antifa member. I do love that they're naming Antifa now, though. A manhunt is underway for an at-large suspect linked to the 4th of July ambush shooting attack outside the ICE Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas. Benjamin Hanil Song, 32 of Dallas, is wanted for attempted murder and is considered armed and dangerous. Sorry, my Bishop ran to the restroom here during the commercial break, and the doors on the studio are so heavy that it's hard to lift those doors. So I heard a little knock, and I'm like, okay, let's get that guy back in here. The FBI believes that Song purchased 4 of the firearms connected to the premeditated attack, which was allegedly carried out by a North Texas Antifa cell. 10 heavily armed members of the cell have been arrested and charged with attempted murder and crimes. On July 4th, local and federal officers were lured to the area outside of the ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas. They found themselves fired upon by a group of heavily armed militants dressed in black military-style clothing, according to the criminal report. One officer was shot in the neck area and survived. Authorities said the gunman fired approximately 20 to 30 rounds of ammunition at the officers using AR-15-style rifles. It is an absolute blessing that no ICE agents were murdered during this ambush. Thank God that these losers can't aim. Thank God they don't take firearm training seriously. I mean, honestly. Because that kind of an ambush, if those individuals had been trained to execute, there would have been some executions. It's just by the grace of God that didn't happen. So the manhunt is underway for that armed Antifa suspect allegedly involved in the ambush shooting outside the detention center in Texas on July 4th. There's a lot more going on. Yesterday, we had ICE agents in a tense standoff with anti-ICE rioters, and it got dicey, my friends. Nick Sorter put this on Twitter. He said, ICE agents in a tense standoff with anti-ICE rioters during an immigration raid in California. Democrats are enabling these terrorists. If none of these enablers are locked up, this BS will get worse. Arrest the politicians and the funders. I'm here for it. We gotta find out who's funding this for sure. I mean, I think we all know, wink and nod, the individuals involved in the money. You know, there's a lot of talk about George Soros and the Soros Society and those linked groups funding these protests. There's a lot of talk about money that Joe Biden had sent to NGOs funding these groups. And you can point to protests that we've had. The No Kings protest, there was proof of that as well, of the money that Joe Biden allocated to NGOs. Messing with us.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's not something that we're happy about. Let's be perfectly honest. So yesterday, this raid is going on, and the raid is absolutely insane. So we have the raid happening, and the left starts framing this narrative as we're going after the backbone of American farming. That's what they said. We're going after the backbone of American farming. Can you believe these ICE agents going after the farm workers? You know, it's funny because it turned out that it wasn't an avocado farm. They weren't growing grapes. No onions, no potatoes. They were growing marijuana. I wouldn't necessarily call that the backbone of the farming industry right there, right? I don't know. I wouldn't do that. But ICE agents were involved in a tense standoff yesterday. Yeah, we'll watch a video in a minute here, pal. But Mexican nationals were using Mexican flags attached to poles to attack U.S. military vehicles. The rioters were trying to stop a raid on this drug farm operated by illegal aliens. This was chaotic at best. Listen to Los Angeles News describe the scene. It was crazy.
Happening at Wood and Laguna, and you now see the military vehicles advancing despite those protesters trying to make a stance and trying to stop the military vehicle from continuing on. And there's cameras rolling, cell phone cameras rolling, and this group of people are really trying to get this military vehicle to stop, and it doesn't appear that it will. It is continuing to push forward, and now the people are moving away from in front of that military vehicle, which...
So, I mean, just to describe the scene for you, you have many, many protesters in the street trying to block military vehicles while they wave Mexican flags to say that they deserve to stay here in America.
Is a good thing. We don't want to see anyone get hurt. But again, you see this grouping of military vehicles advancing toward the federal agents further down on the street.
I mean, it was an absolutely chaotic scene, and it seemed to get worse and worse and worse. We saw DHS landing Black Hawk helicopters at these weed farms while agents were arresting illegal aliens, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. This is what I voted for.
Protesters who have showed up to vehemently protest what's going on here, and just in the last few minutes, Customs and Border Patrol helicopter has entered the scene here. They are landing in the middle of the farm as we speak. It does appear that they were not planning to be here as long as they have been, and so this helicopter that you're looking at here, guys, apparently just made a run over to Van Nuys Airport for some cases of water, which is what they're bringing into the scene here. So there are a whole team of ICE agents at the farm. There are other agents down there as well as the National Guard police standing guard and protecting Laguna Road as this enforcement action takes place right here, going into hour number 4 this afternoon. Again, a major situation transpiring here in Camarillo, and it does not appear that they were intending to stay this long.
Yes, so maybe you hear my little guy Bishop in the background. Yeah, there's a lot of police and a lot of protesters down there in California at this farm. The left, again, is trying to frame this as we're going after farm workers, but this is a marijuana farm. And authorities confirmed that it was even worse than what we thought. You see, Gavin Newsom responded to this raid, and Gavin Newsom said, "This is despicable. How could you do this?" And DHS replied, "Well, sir, why do you have kids working on that farm?" Yes. This is one of the craziest developments in this ICE standoff, bar none. Gavin Newsom put out a tweet, and he said, "Kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was taken from the fields. Trump calls me new scum, but he's the real scum." And DHS replies, "Why are there children working at a marijuana facility, Gavin?" And I think that that's an important question. It was confirmed that children were working there. Undocumented newcomers, if you will. Illegal aliens. They had kids working there. That's the backbone of our farming. What are we doing? This is the backbone of America. We can't be raiding farms. It's like, no, sir. We do need to be raiding these farms, and we're saving these children. And just to reemphasize, it was confirmed that they found multiple unaccompanied illegal alien children working on this farm. This isn't okay in America. The left will try and say that this is good, but no, don't buy into that.
Who was killed that day, still looking for answers. But we begin with Matt Finn. He's live with more on the growing violence against ICE. Matt, good evening.
Trace, good evening. Two federal sources tell Fox tonight that hundreds of people have been taken into custody during an hours-long immigration sweep at two farming locations in Carpinteria and Camarillo, California. Tear gas and smoke bombs were launched into the crowds of protesters, clashing with immigration agents. Some people were transported to the hospital. Others were taken into custody for interfering with federal officers. Protesters could be seen throwing rocks at this black SUV. And tonight, sources tell Fox the feds are investigating the possibility of an active shooter at the scene. Investigators searched for shell casings and are using facial recognition to identify the suspect. This all started much earlier in the day. Federal sources tell Fox they had a criminal warrant to get onto the properties based on evidence illegal aliens were being harbored there. The properties are believed to be tied to a company called Glass House Brands, which has a state license to grow marijuana. And in San Francisco earlier this week, a group of protesters.
They're growing marijuana at this facility, which, fine, it's illegal in California, whatever. Like, I'm not here to debate the merits of that. But they had illegal alien children working there. Gavin Newsom uses this opportunity to attack Trump. And it's like, bro, get your state under control. I saw one meme. You know, he's running for president right now. Gavin Newsom, during all of this, he's in South Carolina stumping with Jim Clyburn. But somebody posted a picture. It was AI generated. I'll put it on the screen for you. It's Gavin Newsom, and there's a field behind him where marijuana is being grown and a bunch of kids working on it. It says, Newsom 2028, dope and change. Oh, it's bad. That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
That's a nasty one. That's nasty.
And this standoff was wild. There are videos of a anti-ICE protester, what I could only assume is another Antifa militant, opening fire on ICE agents during this standoff.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really chaotic scene at the time. A lot of smoke was being launched at the protesters. And again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon. It looks like he fired at least a couple of times. We have not heard about any agents being hurt.
Now, they're going to search the scene for shell casings. They're going to come back with more of a confirmation on this. I think it is important to point out, I don't know if that's a firearm. I mean, like, we see the guy pointing it and all that, but with everything that we've seen developed lately, that could be pepper spray. That could be one of those Byrna handguns. Like, we don't technically know until they come back with shell casings and confirmation. But if you're watching the video on Super Talk TV, it certainly does appear that this anti-ICE protester pulls a firearm from his waistband and opens fire on ICE agents, which is insane. ICE agents who are saving illegal alien children from being forced to work on a marijuana farm in California. These ICE agents are heroes, and they shouldn't be putting up with this. They shouldn't be putting up with this at all. Meanwhile, the left will try and tell you that the violence only comes from our side. Like, quite literally, it was yesterday? There was audio going around of Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, yeah, you get it. Jasmine was saying that the violence only comes from the MAGA side, not the Democrat side. Now, I want to ask her, is it time to rethink that stance?
The violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously, anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction.
It's specifically MAGA. Specifically MAGA. One second, buddy. Specifically MAGA. That's where the violence comes from. When the ICE facilities are being ambushed by Antifa members, just remember, that's MAGA Antifa, okay? That's not the real Antifa. It's the MAGA version. When these protesters are opening fire on agents, that's MAGA again. I mean, we're 2 days away from the assassination attempt against Donald J. Trump, a year anniversary. Just to remind you, that was MAGA again. Yeah, it was MAGA. That's the only place this kind of violence comes from, and definitely the rhetoric too. That's it's a MAGA exclusive. 9:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I see Larry and Luke hanging on the line. Want to join the conversation? I'll get to your calls next, guys. Thank you for holding. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. Bishop is in studio with me celebrating his 6th birthday. Happy birthday, Bishop.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun today here on the Chris Hand Show. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Crews continue to sift through debris in Texas. And is President Trump reconsidering some tariffs? And a standoff in Clarksville comes to an end. All that and more coming up at the top of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 997 WTN. This is the Bishop Show.
It's the Bishop Show. Bishop is turning 6 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you're hanging out in studio with me today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, don't do too good. I don't want to lose my gig, all right?
Okay.
All right, deal. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the show. Larry in Clarksville. Thanks for holding, Larry. What's up, man?
Hey, Larry. Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking my call.
What's up, man? How are you?
Listen, I'm still above the daisies. I completely agree about Pam Bondi. The more we find out about her, I want to see Trump look her in the eyes and say, "You're fired."
Me and you both.
I also want him to tell Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, "You may be next."
Honestly. But I think I'm a little bit more. I feel like I'm more annoyed with Pam Bondi than Bongino and Patel, personally.
I am, but the primary reason I called and why I've been waiting on hold was to wish Mr. Bishop Hand an early, wonderful birthday and a wonderful birthday weekend.
Thank you, Larry.
You're very welcome, young man.
We appreciate you, Larry. Appreciate you listening, as always, man. Thank you so much. 615-737-9986. Luke in Bedford County. What's up, Luke?
Not much, man. Happy birthday, Mason. I hope you have a great time. It's a wrestling match. And remember, your daddy is like a punching bag. He's got Everlast tattooed on his chest. You just can't see it.
I love it. He says thank you, man. What do you got, Luke?
Did they ever release the name of the truck driver that had that crazy wreck this morning?
Have they released the name of the truck driver that had the crazy wreck this morning in Nashville? No, not that I know of, but we'll keep our eyes on it for sure. Why do you ask?
Cool. Next thing is, and did you hear about an Iranian safe house getting raided on the 27th of last month by some of our best and finest?
There was a lot of Iranians rounded up the last month, so I do know that there was a few of them, but I don't know which.
11.
Yeah, I don't know which one specifically. Yep.
But anyways, anybody a guy sent it to me on the network of things. But anyways, you can tell me, Iran can't hurt us. They're over there. They're everywhere.
I mean, listen, because of that open border. It's all because of that open border, Luke, and I appreciate the call. It's Joe Biden. He left the border wide open. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of individuals in this country that shouldn't be. I will say, though, that DHS had ramped up rounding up the Iranians, especially before and after what transpired, was it a couple weekends ago now? Jeez, time's flying. It's 10 o'clock. Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It's 10 a.m. and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weekend weather forecast is coming up. Crews are digging through feet of debris to try and locate 160 people that are still missing in the tragic storm floods in Texas exactly 1 week ago. ABC's Trevor Alt is in Kerrville, Texas.
Residents begin returning with those deadly waters now receded. One couple surviving by hanging onto a pillar just outside their door.
We just held on for a couple more hours.
Finding their wedding rings in the debris.
There appears to be more wiggle room in the Trump administration's August 1 deadline to impose tariffs on many countries. Here's Secretary of State Marco Rubio at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations foreign ministerial meetings that are taking place in Malaysia.
The baseline will take effect the 1st of August, but obviously, as the president's made clear, there are opportunities for adjustments based on arrangements that could be made between now and then.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, a man barricaded himself inside a home in Clarksville with his children early this morning. Clarksville police established a perimeter around the home on Pat Drive at about 2:20 this morning. The situation began as domestic related before the man's spouse was able to safely exit the home. It's not known how many children were inside the house at the time. Officers negotiated with the man and were heard on a loudspeaker asking for him to answer a phone. At about 8:20 this morning, the man allowed the children to leave the home unharmed. He then came out of the house and was taken into custody. He's been charged with aggravated domestic assault. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Between one.
.05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name's Chris Hand. What's your name?
Bishop.
Bishop's celebrating a birthday. We got a good show for you today, packed to the gills. Who's it brought to us by? Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. I think this guy wants to talk to you, Bishop. Hey, Dave, what's up, man? How are you?
Good.
Hey, Chris. Bishop, it's Mr. David. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, it's our neighbor, Mr.
You're
Dave.
welcome.
Tell him thank you, sir.
Have a great day. Happy birthday, bud.
Hey, we will, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, Dave.
All right. See ya.
Dave's one of the best. Dave's youngest son hangs out with our boys big time, Clive. And what have we been calling it at our house? The Summer of Clive. It's been the Summer of Clive. Every day we're always hanging out with Clive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Clive.
Well, most all the day, right?
Most all of the days we're hanging out with Clive. Mike in Nashville, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, how you doing, Chris? How you doing, brother? Hey, man, another day, another story with the immigration people.
Honestly.
Yeah, I want to, hopefully tell your son he behave this summer so you can send him to that summer camp you've been talking about.
Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Chris. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question, man, because I keep hearing these people saying that the ICE units are too aggressive. Have you seen the video? What is the man? If you're in an ICE unit, police vehicle, and you got a guy, have you seen the guy throwing the rocks the bricks
Yep.
at these windows.
Yep.
The rock goes through the window that man could hit the man in the head, knock him out, or anything to suffer severe injuries. But here's the question I want to ask you: what are they supposed to do when you got a man? I've seen videos of people standing in front of the cars while they're trying to stop these cars from leaving the facility. And then the people are saying that the ICE units are trying to run them over. What is the ICE man supposed to do
Honestly,
when you got somebody standing in front of your car?
I'm with you, Mike, and I'll be honest, I don't think that they've been aggressive enough, and I think we're going to see that aggression ramp up. I mean, at this point, how can you not treat every Antifa protester that's heading your way as a potential deadly threat? You know, when we know that they're being ambushed, we see the video from California where the guy's pulling out a firearm and firing on ICE agents. How can they not approach every ICE protester as a deadly threat at this point?
Somebody's gonna get hurt or maybe even killed. But what? Let me ask you. Can you answer that question, Chris? If you standing in front of a vehicle that's moving, what do you expect that driver to do? What is he supposed to do? Just stop and wait for you to decide to move out of the way, or what? Can you answer that question for me?
I'll tell you what. In Florida, it would wind up with a thump. You know what I mean? In California, I think that they have to be a little bit more reserved. But I think that the only appropriate response is thump.
Okay. Let me ask you one other thing, right quick, Chris. Okay, so now let me ask you this about the ICE again. Okay, you said that they found out that kids were working at these marijuana places.
Yep.
Do you know the age of these kids? Do you know if they were under 18?
They looked young, man. They looked like young kids. And you know, judging from the video, it's a tough sell, but I would say between 8 and 12. Between 6 and 12, around that range.
Yep.
It's awful.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for some kids to be. That's almost as young as your son. Those people, whoever owns that property, they should be arrested for child exploitation, for exploiting kids and use child labor. Whoever's doing that, they need to arrest that individual who's running that marijuana deal. I think the ICE units are doing exactly what they need to do. And I thank you for taking my call.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you calling in as always, man. Let's go to Brian in Greenbrier. What's up, Brian?
What's up, man? I'm home today, so I get to watch you.
All right, awesome.
I've never done that. Good looking guy.
You know, listen, I take care of my appearance, Brian. You know, I try.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Bishop.
Oh, I figured as much. You tell him, thank you, sir.
Happy birthday, Bishop. I want to say one thing, though. Mike kind of stole my comments because I always agree with Mike. He's a very practical sounding guy he's got common sense. And that's
Big fan of Mike. Big fan of Mike.
Let me go back on a memory for Bishop. He may remember this. When you first got on the show, I believe, you shared a story that was the funniest story I've ever heard about children. That was clean, of course, where nobody gets freaky about it. You said, we were at a restaurant and we had to wait a while. And so I told the boys to go, find something to do. So they went outside and got in the car. Do you remember that? And you said, and everybody was going, well, what'd they do? And you go, well, so-and-so won because he stayed in the car the longest. It was so hot and he was sweating the worst.
Yes.
That was the funniest story I ever heard in my life.
Let's make a contest. Instead of waiting in the lobby, let's see who can wait in the car the longest.
Perfect boy story.
Oh,
anyway,
100%.
I was going to comment on Antifa, but I think Mike covered it a little bit. I mean, we need some good old boys to go up here. I wish they would take volunteers. ICE not understaffed anymore, but they may be.
Yeah, right.
And if they ever do, I wish they'd come to Jason Aldean's state and let's pack up and go.
Yeah, sign me up. Reporting for duty, sir.
Yep. Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Happy birthday, buddy.
You tell him thank you, sir. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, Brian.
See you, man.
615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. You know, as you're seeing all the violence erupt in Los Angeles, you're seeing it ratchet up in Texas and in Portland. You're still seeing the left try and defend it. I played this clip a minute ago, but I think it warrants playing again. This is Jasmine Crockett. Now, mind you, this is a couple days ago. She had the audacity to say that the violence politically is only coming from MAGA. We're 2 days removed from a year, or 2 days ahead of a year since the assassination attempt of Donald J. Trump. Okay? What we've seen at ICE facilities, the ambushes, what we've seen just since the election and everything. Do we really believe that the violence is only coming from the MAGA faction? I don't see it. Jasmine Crockett, on the other hand, thinks that that's the case.
Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction.
Specifically MAGA factions causing the violence. Oh, okay. Okay. No. It's the rhetoric from the left that's causing the violence. It's the rhetoric on the mainstream media as well as via the politicians. And this is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. With the ambushes on the ICE facilities, do you know that CNN and MSNBC basically didn't cover it at all? They didn't even bring it up. They have no issue calling ICE Nazis or the Gestapo. That's fine. That's par for the course. That's according to plan. But calling out or even reporting on Antifa ambushing ICE facilities in Texas, no, they're not going to do that. Mediaite has the story. On the 4th of July, 11 left-wing activists mounted a domestic terror attack on Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility in Alvarado, Texas. We've covered this ad nauseum. Dressed in all black, Antifa, militants. They got military gear. They're ready to go. But it's the coverage that is shocking. Because CNN or MSNBC, neither network devoted a single minute of airtime to covering the attacks. Let me say that again. They didn't devote a single minute to coverage of what happened in Texas at the ICE facilities. Not a single minute. CNN managed to devote a sentence to it in an online story about another attack on immigration authorities, but nothing on air. Mediaite puts it this way. Should that not strike you as unusual? Imagine this scenario. 11 members of a right-wing militia group open fire on an FBI office on a major holiday, and a responding police officer is shot in the neck. You think that you would have a cold chance in hell of escaping the attention of the likes of Joe Scarborough, Wolf Blitzer, Jen Psaki, Brian Steltner, Lawrence O'Donnell, Dana Bash? Mediaite says this glaring omission is particularly notable given the two news organizations' relentlessly critical coverage of ICE and persistent warnings about right-wing extremism and violence. Searches for mentions of ICE on air may not turn up any coverage at all of the attempted murder of innocent law enforcement officers, but they do yield plenty of segments about other protests of the organization. MSNBC's Catherine Rampnell ranting about its employees potentially beating people and committing violence, and a CNN interview of a Latino man lamenting that his own people were being arrested and harassed by ICE agents. Nothing about the bullets flying by heads, though. In a rightfully maligned episode of Misinfo Nation series earlier this year, CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan asserted that white America's roots are soaked in bloodshed. Violence in the country today is mostly from right-wing extremism. From Oklahoma City to Charlottesville to January 6th, there's simply no equivalent on the left. No equivalent. No equivalent on the left. Nothing after what we saw during the Summer of Love. Nothing after what we've seen in Los Angeles. Nothing after the ICE facility ambushes. Nothing. Nope, nothing. Are you even shocked by it? I know you're not. Who would be? 615-737-9986. Gary in Springfield, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Gary?
Good morning. There are different states of emergency that can be declared by a governor and even the President of the United States. And the most extreme, and it can be done, all the President of the United States has to do is get on TV and say, I've declared the state of emergency for X state, X city. We're taking over. Deadly force is going to be used. Anybody that's supporting sedition, insurrection, just have to look at even the state constitutions. The people have a right to defend their state against insurrection and invasion. It's there. It's clear. It's a federal mandate. It's also a state mandate. Okay? So you just go ahead and declare we have an insurrection, and if the governor or it doesn't declare it, federal government does it, you come in, live ammo, and you start cleaning house. And you arrest every single official who is not doing their duty. and you charge them with being participants in it. And then you can go ahead and tie them to acts of sedition and inciting riots on top of that, and you throw the key away on them.
Yeah.
And that's what will end it all. You start shooting these people.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to be firing on American citizens. I understand the sentiment, Gary, and I'm not going to advocate for that. I think it would devolve into much more chaotic. Arresting the leadership, though, in the Democrat Party, I'm all for it, and there's plenty of those to arrest. Case in point, Mayor Karen Bass, she should be held accountable. I mean, what she's doing in her city, it is an absolute train wreck. She actually said yesterday that the anti-ICE riots that took place in Los Angeles earlier in June never happened as the media reported them. Listen, this is these officials and the gaslighting. It's unbelievable.
This is kind of more of a broader national question. Reports indicate that ICE agents and police officers in Texas have been targeted in ambushes, including in Alvarado, where assailants in tactical gear allegedly lured officers with fireworks before opening fire. Given your strong opposition to federal immigration enforcement actions in Los Angeles, how would you address similar escalations of violence against law enforcement in Texas? And what steps would you propose to prevent such unrest from spreading to Los Angeles while balancing community safety in your sanctuary city policies?
Well, let me just say that the quote-unquote riots that were reported never happened.
So let me just open by saying that everything that you saw with your own eyes and heard with your own ears, it's completely false. It actually never happened. Oh, that's news to me. That's news. I had no idea. I had no idea I was watching AI videos live on the news as they were throwing rocks at police officers. The reporter also said, what happens if the Texas-style ambushes come here? What do you do? And I would point out they've already arrived. We saw yesterday, as ICE raided that marijuana facility, an anti-ICE protester pull out a firearm and open fire. That style of violence is in L.A. already. It's 10:20 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Real quick, we got Charlotte on the line. What's up, Charlotte?
Happy birthday, Bishop!
Oh, what do you say, buddy?
Thank you.
Thank you guys for calling in. We appreciate it. Yeah, we got a special guest host in here today. My son Bishop is turning 6 years old tomorrow, so he's hanging out with us. You having fun?
Yeah.
Are you a little bored already?
Kind of.
Kind of. I get it, man. I get it. Hey, thank you for the call, Charlotte. I appreciate it, guys. Have a great day.
We love you.
Love you guys. Bye. You got a lot of friends calling in. I think Bishop's getting more callers than I get.
And ones that actually like him.
I know. Usually, when people call in for me, they're mad at me. Did you know that? They're calling in. They're happy with you. We got a lot more fun on the way. Chris Hand in here with Bishop Hand. You tell him what the radio station is?
997 WTN.
99.7 WTN.
How would you like to have Jesus Christ pray for you? Did you know that Jesus Christ does pray for you if you're a Christian? Hebrews 7:25 says, "Therefore he is able also to save forever those who draw near to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them." In Scripture, intercession means to pray on behalf of. Jesus Christ is your advocate. An advocate comes to our aid or pleads our case to a judge, offering support and counsel and interceding for us when necessary. In other verses, Jesus calls the Holy Spirit our advocate. Just like you talk to yourself, when Jesus talks to himself, it's prayer. The Bible says no matter what you go through today, next week, or next year, Jesus is praying for you if you have trusted him as your Savior. He's on your side.
We'll have a traffic update on a crash in downtown Nashville this morning that certainly upset the morning commute. A special session being called in Texas in the wake of flooding there. We'll have those stories at the bottom of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Jay Harper in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. It's 1024 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being here. However you're listening, we appreciate you. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can check us out on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, 99.7 WTN. Those are all the apps, or the FM dial. You can watch us as well. We just got added to Rumble, which is a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal, right? I think it's a pretty big deal.
I'm kind of hype.
I mean, yeah, we're big hype. So we're on Rumble. Super Talk TV's on Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. YouTube is still jumping. That's still the personal favorite. I think Rumble could overtake YouTube at some point as our personal favorite.
Absolutely.
I think that's the direction we're moving in.
Or at least be on the same tiered level.
Co-favorites.
Co-favorites.
They could be our co-favorites. But
I'm here for it.
I am too, man. I am too. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. We do have a very special guest in studio today. Bishop Hand is here. He's celebrating his 6th birthday tomorrow. So, we spoil the kids. And he said, I said, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, you got any big plans? He said, no. I said, you want to come into the radio station with me? He's like, yeah. So he's here now today. You having fun so far? Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming. You're fun. It's fun and it's tiring. Yep. Fact check true. We'll turn your microphone on in a second. All right, pal. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. Larry in McMinnville, you're up first on Super Talk. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, good, thanks. Hey, happy birthday, Bishop. Be a kid. You're only a kid once. Enjoy it. I got a point about Antifa, and the thing that's a joke, I never really hear it much. Supposedly the Republicans are the bad party, according to this. I don't even want to say she's a politician because she's an idiot. But anyway, when Trump was president before, Antifa was running wild. They were burning the cities in their quote-unquote peaceful protest.
Yep, mostly peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. They were wearing masks. Nobody had an issue with it. I used to always say back then, hey, if you have a point and you want people to listen to you, show your face.
Yep.
So then Biden's president. No Antifa for 4 straight years.
No, Antifa's just an idea. Remember that? Do you remember that? Yeah. Antifa's just an idea?
Exactly. But now that Trump is fixing our country again in 6 short months, he's done stuff that Biden said cannot be done. It's Republicans' fault for the border and all that. But now Antifa's back in power. Well, they think they're in power. And now they're doing stuff again that people are complaining that ICE is wearing masks, but yet nobody says anything about Antifa wearing masks.
Yeah, and nobody said anything about the anti-Israeli protesters wearing masks. That wasn't an issue. Exactly. During the Summer of Love, masks weren't an issue. Masks were actually encouraged during the Summer of Love. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Exactly. But it's a joke. But you know what the thing is also is you can't speak as a Republican. You can't have a conversation because the only thing that the Democrats end up doing, they get mad, they get irate with you.
Yep.
I had one lady we're having a conversation, and I said to her, this is when Trump was president the first time. I said, well, do you have a fence around your house? Well, of course I do. I go, why is that? She goes, to protect my family and keep them safe. I go, oh, really? Isn't that the same thing that Trump's trying to do for our country? And
Yep.
She was so livid, she wanted to strangle me.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because when you confront people with common sense, they have a bad reaction to it. It's insane. But I appreciate the call, Larry. Thank you so much for weighing in. 615-737-9986 if you want to weigh in. And Larry said, Antifa's back in power. I think it's less about them being in power and more about them being emboldened and financed. And they're definitely being financed. But this is, if you remember the Joe Biden-Donald Trump debate, Antifa's not an organization. It's an idea.
I'll tell you what. somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what
It's an idea.
FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
We're done, sir.
We're
moving on to the next. We're moving.
Antifa is an idea. It's not an organization. Well, breaking news. An idea raided 2 Texas ICE facilities in an ambush and shot at officers. It's the first time in documented history that an idea has caused a violent attack, yet here we are. It's 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. We'll have your weekend weather in just a moment. A semi-truck really caused all kinds of problems here this morning in the metro area. It crashed at the I-24 I-40 split. The semi was traveling eastbound on 40 this morning when the driver left the roadway, went down an embankment, and landed on the westbound lanes into incoming traffic. The semi was hauling electrical parts, and they leaked some oil. Also, hazmat crews have been called in to contain the 150 gallons of diesel fuel that have been involved in the crash. The driver transported to the hospital with minor injuries. The 65 South ramp remains closed as they continue to clean up that mess. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has told lawmakers returning to Austin for a special session to be ready to talk about flood control and flood warning systems. ABC's Jim Ryan says answers may be found in a tiny town whose name suddenly seems very appropriate.
The people of Kerr County had very little warning that the Guadalupe River was about to overflow its banks last Friday. One county over, the town of Comfort has a siren system.
It just sets it off right here, button number 2.
The town's 2 sirens have been around for decades, but Fire Chief Danny Morales says
This is the first time we've ever blown both of them as a actual warning.
And all of Comfort's 2,200 residents escaped the flood safely.
That's the latest news. Weather is on the way. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking. I lost 70 pounds and my friend lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months.
Wow, what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99.
1036, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. I got a very, very handsome co-host in here today. Bishop Hand is here, turning 6 years old tomorrow, so he got to bring Dad to work today. He said, it was off mic. He just said to me, "Hey, Dad, can you kind of stop talking so much?" Yeah, the audience feels the same way, buddy. The audience feels the exact same way. I'm sure. We got a lot to get to today. Bishop is in studio. We're having some fun here on the Chris Hand Show. Thank you for joining us, however you're joining us. We do appreciate it. He just said off mic. He said, "You mean the Bishop Show?" It is the Bishop Show today. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. Joe in Dixon. Oh, I went to Joe, and Joe hung up. I'm sorry, Joe. I kept Joe on the line for just too long. Just a hair too long. He couldn't hang on anymore. All right, Joe, if you want to call back, I'll get you to the front of the line, man. 615-737-9986. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. The MS-13 kingpin that was busted in Nebraska. Do you remember that? Omaha. You know, when you think of Omaha, you definitely think MS-13, right? Who doesn't? It's crazy though. ICE did arrest an MS-13 kingpin in Nebraska. Listen to the way Fox News broke it down yesterday. It's a crazy story when you think about it. Especially, I don't know about you. I don't think of Nebraska as a safe haven for MS-13. Yet, after 4 years of Joe Biden with open borders, every state's a border state, every town's a border town. And we busted this guy yesterday.
Suspect's name, Melvin Varela Perez. He's been wanted for 5 murders and is considered a high-ranking member of the gang.
He's a kingpin. And they always have 4 or 5 names. Have you noticed that? Like, anytime we're nabbing like a big-time illegal alien, there's at minimum 3 names. At minimum. How many names did he have? I think he had like 4 names.
Suspect's name, Melvin Varela Perez. He's been wanted for 5 murders and is considered a high-ranking member of the gang. But even though he's been on El Salvador's 100 most wanted list since 2016, he crossed the border and was released into the U.S. under the Biden administration.
On the most wanted list for El Salvador, which, spoiler alert, is probably a little bit more dicey than our most wanted list. He's on the most wanted list for El Salvador since 2016. He shows up at the border, and the Biden administration says, "My man, we've been waiting for you. Get in here, knucklehead. We got a nice spot for you in Nebraska." This is literally what happened.
Perez was arrested alongside an associate named Rene Escobar Ochoa, who had a red notice from Interpol out on him when he came across the border. The Department of Homeland Security reacting in a statement saying, quote, "The Biden administration allowed 2 ringleaders of MS-13, one of the most violent gangs in the world, come straight into our country. One of these depraved aliens is on El Salvador's 100 most wanted fugitives list and is wanted for 5 counts of murder. The other has an Interpol notice for drug trafficking. These are the kinds of scumbags sanctuary politicians are protecting and letting walk free on America's streets."
Yeah, 100%. Now, when we had the ICE raids here in Nashville, we had many of our local state representatives just so broken up about it. Mayor Freddie O'Connell was heartbroken. Afton Bain, she was beside herself. Heidi Campbell's having a tough time. We really should check on them. We should check on them. But we're not the only state with ridiculous Democrat state representatives. In Nebraska, where that MS-13 kingpin was arrested, they have their own version of Heidi Campbell or Afton Bain in Nebraska. Her name, the state representative, is Megan Hunt. And after they bust El Salvador's most wanted MS-13 kingpin in Nebraska, their state senator Megan Hunt goes on X and says, F ICE and everyone who supports them. These thugs are America's Gestapo, our modern national shame, and must be stopped at every opportunity.
Is she not aware that he's wanted for 5 murders?
on El Salvador's most wanted list, the dude he's rolling with has an Interpol red notice, but ICE is the Gestapo. Our communities demand more MS-13 kingpins. They're doing the jobs Americans don't want to do. Don't you understand this? We've broken this down so many times. Americans are just they're too good to become MS-13 kingpins, so we have to import those individuals. Right? Right. MS-13, get in here. Antifa, that's not even an organization. It's an idea. We love Antifa. Joe in Dixon's back. He wants to talk Antifa. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Actually, my first question is actually for Bishop. Just wanted to say happy birthday, buddy, and who's your favorite wrestler?
Oh, Bishop, come here, man. You got Joe and Dixon saying happy birthday. He wants to know who your favorite wrestler is.
AJ Styles and...
Here, talking to the microphone.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. AJ Styles. That's a good one.
Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well,
full disclosure, he doesn't know too many of them. We're not like in on the wrestling, but we're looking forward to tonight, man. It's gonna be an absolute blast for his birthday.
Nice. Well, I hope y'all have fun, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Right,
what do you got on Antifa?
So I just wanted to call in and say I am a liberal, and I do not condone any of this violence whatsoever. And I mean, I would like to think Democrats
you said you're a liberal voter?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. But yeah, I just wanted to say I do not condone any of this violence. I would like to think Democrats wouldn't either, and I don't believe if it was Antifa that they represent the good in the Democratic Party. So I just wanted to put that out there.
But what do you make of Democrat leaders essentially ignoring Antifa, pretending that they don't exist, and then other Democratic leadership like State Representative or State Senator Megan Hunt in Nebraska, who, after they pinch an MS-13 kingpin, she gets on Twitter and says F ICE and anyone who supports them. Like, as a Democrat, what is that? How does that make you feel?
I mean, honestly, I would like to think that they're just waiting for evidence that it is Antifa. And if it is Antifa, then yeah, I would like them to make a statement about that or disavow that. I mean, I view Antifa just like I view the Proud Boys, and I would like to think the majority of the country disavows thoughts like that.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think you know that's not like a radical statement. But the difference is that on the conservative side, our state senators aren't coming out and covering for the Proud Boys the way they cover for Antifa on the left.
I get that.
And we're also not attacking law enforcement officers the way they're attacking ICE officials on the left. And ICE officials are making neighborhoods safer for Democrats too. It's not just liberal neighborhoods. It's conservative it's everybody's neighborhood that gets safer because of this.
Well, you see that little switch in there was really the reason I called, because you said left and violence on the law enforcement. I mean, if that is Antifa doing that, yes, they are a leftward organization, but I wouldn't say that it's the leftists doing violence on them. It's the fringe group doing it like that. And I would like to think nobody supports that, but
I feel like there's a lot of leftists that support that. Have you seen Portland or Seattle lately? Have you seen Austin, Texas?
Well, yeah, there is a lot of bad going on. And as far as the specific representative comments that you mentioned, charitably, she could not be talking about defending Antifa. She's just talking about ICE. And I understand ICE is an organization. They're just following rules that are given to them. So she's just trying to express her discontent with the orders that they're being given. And yeah, the Gestapo language and the hateful rhetoric, I don't like it, but I don't think they're trying to incite violence by doing it. I think they're just trying to bring attention to the bad things that they're doing, like the grabbing people off the street. I think that's what they're referring to as Gestapo.
They have to
trying to get illegals out of here. I agree with. Let me just say this: I am a liberal, and if I don't agree with illegal immigration. I think you should do it right. But I would like to get all the criminals out of here first. I feel like they're a little bit.
Hey, I appreciate you saying that. I would say with the grabbing people off the street, That's happening in sanctuary cities where they're not letting ICE into the prisons. So you're getting a lot of collateral pickups when you're going to these work sites and you're doing these raids because they won't let ICE into the jail cells. So in a lot of these sanctuary cities where they're speaking out and going F ICE and this and that, they could not have ICE on their streets. Mayor Karen Bass today, if she started letting ICE into her prison, she wouldn't have ICE operating on her streets. And that's what she's screaming about. That's a big issue. So why do you think that the Democrats wouldn't want ICE in the prisons to get the bad guys when you, as a Democrat, have no problem with them getting the bad guys?
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think those two things are connected. Being a sanctuary city and then grabbing people off the street, not letting them in the prison.
But it's absolutely connected because as a sanctuary city, you're not going to adhere to ICE detainers. So when you arrest somebody and you bring them into their jail, if they had an ICE detainer, like if they get arrested in Murfreesboro and they have an ICE detainer, then they're gonna let ICE know, right? But in Los Angeles, they arrest somebody who has an ICE detainer. Say they have an ICE detainer for murder or rape. Maybe it's not even something as bad. Maybe it's check forgery. Whatever. Who cares what the ICE detainer's for, right?
Yeah.
Instead of keeping that person in jail, they're releasing them back onto the street. So it's because ICE is operating the streets because they're not allowed in the jails. It would be safer for ICE and it would be safer for the illegal alien if we were allowed to pick them up in the jail. It would be safer for the community. Let's be perfectly honest when you see how it's devolved in Los Angeles. So why wouldn't they just let ICE into the prisons to get those criminals?
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not for sure the argument for sanctuary cities. I'm sure they have a reason why they want to be sanctuary cities, but just being honest, I don't know.
Can I tell you my theory on why they want to be sanctuary cities? It's because the cities are so poorly managed just down the line. Like you look at a city like Los Angeles where you're going to lose, if you're making $1 million in Los Angeles, you're really making about $500,000 in Los Angeles because of all the taxes. And when you're paying through the nose on taxes and your city services are degrading to the point where you don't have water and fire hydrants when wildfires breaks out, you have the homeless pooping on the street, you have needles on the subway and everywhere, people leave, right? Your tax base leaves. Because of a Supreme Court ruling, in the census now, you don't have to ask citizenship status. So in a city like Los Angeles, if they lose 200,000 people, they're also going to lose representation in the House. They're going to lose seats. But because of the census, you just need a head count. So they want as many bodies in there so that way they can inflate the number of representatives that they have.
Huh. Yeah. I've heard similar theories like that regarding voting and whatnot. I don't know how true it is, but
I mean, it's not a theory. It's in black and white. It's the census determines how many representatives you get, and because the census was changed and there's no citizenship question, it's just warm bodies. It's just warm bodies at this point.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. With the representation thing, you do get the representation. I was talking about the theory of letting illegals in so that they can vote for the Democratic side. But I mean, if you look at the last election, that's starting to swing, so it might start to help Republicans here soon. But I do have one question. What are your thoughts on Trump's speech in Idaho, where he said he was going to let the farmers vouch for their illegal workers? What do you feel about that?
I'm not a huge fan of it, to be perfectly honest with you. I think if you're here illegally, you need to be removed. I think that's the most fair process to do. I also think that that drives down wages for American workers, and I think that we could find Americans for those jobs. I don't subscribe to the theory that we need to bring in illegal aliens and then be able to pay them less for slave labor. I don't think that that's a reality in this country. I think that we should just pay Americans more to do the job and also focus on automation.
Gotcha. Okay. Which, I mean, I mainly agree with that. I mean, I do think there should be try to make some type of system to keep peaceful workers, immigrants, give them a easier route to actually become a citizen. But yeah, on the whole, I think I'd agree with that.
I don't know, man. You sound a bit more reasonable than somebody I would expect to describe themselves as a liberal.
You see, man, that's the only reason I called in, because every time I tuned in. I hear lunatic liberal. I just wanted to. I don't think I'm a lunatic, but I do. I am a liberal. So
No. Listen, I don't think you're a lunatic. I definitely think you're wrong on a few things, but I appreciate you calling in, and you're welcome to call in anytime you want, Joe.
Hey, I appreciate it. You got a new caller in, so I'll try to call in the future.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. 615-737-9986. Real quick, Luke in Bedford. What do you got, man?
I'm sorry. I called your son Mason, not Bishop. Bishop.
You don't have to say sorry about that, man. Nobody's feelings were hurt.
Oh, I know, but I was like, oh, my God. I got to call back. So anyways, happy birthday. Have a great weekend, guys.
Hey, appreciate you, Luke. Thanks for listening so much, man. We are going to have a fantastic weekend. I do have my soon-to-be 6-year-old. Today's not the official birthday. The official birthday's tomorrow. He's still 5. We're going to hold on to that for as long as we can. We got about 12 more hours before he's 6. But we're going to Friday Night SmackDown tonight at Bridgestone Arena. We're going to stay in a hotel in downtown Nashville. We're going to have an absolute blast. Bishop, are you hype? Are you asleep over there? Bishop might have fallen asleep because I was talking a bit about immigration and things like that. So we'll wake him up and check in with him next. It's 10:52 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, drivers, give you the situation going westbound on 40. It looks like the off-ramp to continue westbound on the South Loop downtown remains closed and likely is going to be that way until 3 o'clock today. Meanwhile, we've got a stalled vehicle blocking the right lane, 40 westbound there at the 2440 Eastern Split. And we'll have another issue for traffic this weekend. That's due to a new TV show. 911 Nashville. They're going to be filming on the Korean Vets Bridge, and that's going to shut that down on Sunday. And crews are still digging through feet of debris to try to locate 160 people still missing in Texas. Got a report from there at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. 10:58 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name's Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're having a lot of fun in here today. We're talking about serious things. We are. But I got my 5-year-old, soon to be 6-year-old in studio, Bishop, and you're having a bit of a headache with those headphones. What's going on? You having a tough time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, buddy. You having fun so far? Oh.
Yo!
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. He just found out how feedback works.
Feedback.
615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. Bishop is in studio. He turns 6 years old tomorrow. We're going to go to wrestling tonight. WWE. I still call it WWF. Do you do that too?
Yeah, it's what it should be.
It's muscle memory. I don't know. When I was a kid and the World Wildlife Foundation took that name from them, I never forgave them for that. I never did. And I was always so mad. I was like, why did you bend the knee so fast? Like, you're a company full of fighters, and, like, you folded like a napkin when it came to the World Wildlife Foundation.
They're used to folding chairs. It's improper.
It's, like, really embarrassing, guys. Still WWF to me, damn it. It is. I'm not lying to you.
Bunch of wrestlers giving in to some do-gooders.
Can you believe that? We used to be a proper country. So we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm looking forward to that. You know Jelly Roll's going to be there tonight?
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll's going to be at SmackDown tonight.
Yes, sir.
They say that he's training. He's training for a wrestling match.
Dude, he's lost like 200 pounds.
Okay. Maybe this is a faux pas. Did he lose it or did he use Ozempic?
Well, I don't know.
Come on, you're my newsman, Ken.
I'll check my sources on that, brother.
All right, I'm just asking for a friend. But I did hear that he's going to have a match at SummerSlam. That's the rumor.
All right. Against whom?
That's the big question. Maybe the storyline starts tonight. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
That'll be some breaking news on Monday if
all
we
right.
find out. All right. It's 11 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Heads up, drivers. The 40 westbound off-ramp to go westbound on the South Loop likely not to reopen until 3 o'clock today because of that semi that crashed there and leaked a bunch of diesel fuel, which also started a fire. And then there is this for Sunday. The Korean Veterans Bridge will be closed all day Sunday for filming of a scene for the new 911 Nashville TV show. News Channel 5 says if you see an Airstream trailer winding on the top of the bridge, remember it's a stunt. It's not real. Tomorrow, the bridge will be reduced to 2 lanes going both directions for preparation of Sunday's filming. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Crews are digging through feet of debris to try to locate 160 people still missing in the tragic storm floods in Texas exactly 1 week ago. Here's ABC's Trevor Alt in Kerrville.
Residents begin returning with those deadly waters now receded
One couple surviving by hanging onto a pillar just outside their door.
We just held on for a couple more hours.
Finding their wedding rings in the debris.
At least 121 people have died in the flooding. President Trump visiting there today.
President Trump and the First Lady traveled to Central Texas today to get a firsthand look at the devastation from the deadly flooding on July 4th. The president's expected to do an aerial tour of some of the most hard-hit areas. He'll visit a state emergency operations center to meet with first responders and get a briefing from state and local officials. The president will likely meet with some of the families who lost loved ones in the floods. The president told me Monday he was traveling to Texas to make sure things were as, quote, comfortable as possible for residents there. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Yeah, Texas Governor Greg Abbott telling his lawmakers returning to Austin for a special session to be ready to talk about flood control and flood warning systems. A former Marine reservist is on Texas' most wanted list in connection with the ambush on a police officer outside an ICE detention center a week ago. Here's Jim Ryan.
Benjamin Song is thought to have been among a group of heavily armed people who lured a police officer to an immigration detention center in Alvarado, south of Fort Worth, then shot and seriously wounded him. Teddy May is the police chief.
Attack on my department, attack on our city. Attack on the rule of law.
His officer is recovering. A dozen people are in custody, and a $35,000 reward's been posted for information about Benjamin Song. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I got a very special guest in studio with me. My son Bishop is here. He's 5, but today's your last day as a 5-year-old. Is that wild to think about, buddy? Hey, talk into the microphone for me. Talk into the mic.
Hello.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
You tell everybody where we're going tonight for your birthday?
Rest all right.
We're going to Bridgestone Arena, baby.
And we're going to stay in for one night on the hotel
Yep, we got a hotel room.
It's off.
No, it's on. It's on. You're good. I got a text here, Bishop. I got a text.
What is it?
6721 said they just changed the main event for tonight at the wrestling match.
What is it?
Are you sure you're ready for this?
Yeah. Actually, no.
You're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker.
So I'm going to be on the.
You got to fight The Undertaker tonight.
What?
Are you ready for that?
But is he going to go on easy?
I think he'll go easy on you. Yeah, I think he would. You up for that?
I'm going to bring that shield and sword.
Yeah, you'll probably need a shield and a sword. I think that's a good plan. Bishop's in here. Happy birthday, Bishop. We're excited to have you here, man. He's just, I'll be honest with you, he's very bored. He is. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Bishop is very, very bored today. I don't know if I asked him if he wanted to come in on Monday. I don't know if I said, hey, you want to come in with me Monday? He's probably going to say, I'll pass. You build it up in your head.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. You build it up in your head. Ooh, I'm going into work with Dad. But then he's like,
Makes sense.
I'm actually rather bored. Yeah. You don't want to talk about immigration? He said, no. Hard pass. We should talk about immigration. I want to talk about the way the media has been covering the immigration. One of the things that happened a couple days ago was a massive illegal alien pedophile ring had been busted in Minnesota. Hang on one second. Hey, Bishop, can you shut that door for me, bud? No, buddy, shut the door. Thank you. Sorry, he's opening the studio door, and I hear Ken out there talking with Headless Bell. It's like I'm getting distracted. The media covered this pedophile ring that was run by illegal aliens in the most heinous way ever. It happened in Minneapolis. Now, as you know, Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, has been referring to ICE as the Gestapo, yet ICE is in his major city protecting that community, even though he besmirches them every chance he gets. And the Department of Homeland Security is not exactly happy about the way that the media has been covering this alleged illegal alien pedophile ring that was busted in Minneapolis. Listen to the way that they've been covering this. You know what they've been calling it? They're not calling it an illegal alien pedo ring. What they're calling it is a cultural misunderstanding. That's how the media is covering this in Minneapolis. It is disgusting. DHS detailed several Laotian and Thai criminal illegal aliens who were arrested as part of the operation. Some have had convictions of lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14. Others had rap sheets, including second-degree sexual assault of a child. It's terrible. But the media, the Minnesota Star in particular, put it this way. The deportations bring anxiety to the Hmong community and accusations of cultural misunderstanding. It continued, Sure Hair of St. Paul, a surgical instrument repair technician who was there buying medicinal herbs, said people with extensive violent criminal records deserve deportation, but he also pointed out the cultural complications in the Hmong culture where people marry much younger than in America. I'm sorry if you think this is a cultural misunderstanding, but you see, when you come to America, one of the key factors is assimilation. Always has been, always will be. So you need to leave the old culture behind and embrace the new American culture. That's the way it works, despite the reporting from the Minnesota Star. 615-737-9986 if you want to call the show. 615-737-9986. Let's go to Rachel in Murfreesboro. Rachel, how are you?
Hey, Chris, I'm good. I have Murphy here with me, and he would like to wish his buddy Bishop a happy birthday.
Oh, Murphy's on the phone. This is Bishop's best friend, Murphy. What's up?
Hi, Murphy.
Hello.
You tell him thanks for calling me?
Happy birthday.
What do you say, man?
Bishop, we love you. We hope you have a great birthday.
Thank you.
Man, Bishop's got...
Okay, buddy.
Hey, thank you guys for calling in. Bishop, you got more fans than me, man. Everybody loves Bishop. Happy birthday, buddy. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. The way the media has been handling immigration has been downright disgraceful. But there are some Democrats who have been coming around, believe it or not. Believe it or not. The media is not there yet. A couple Democrats are. One Democrat in particular, John Fetterman, he's now throwing his full support behind ICE. I know. I'm not exactly surprised that Fetterman is doing this. One second, pal. But he's saying that they perform an important job for the United States. Understatement. I think it's the most important job. This is a critical job. If we want to save this country, we got to get these deportations down. But John Fetterman posting on X yesterday, ICE performs an important job for our country. Any calls to abolish ICE are 100% inappropriate and outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You know what they say? Broke clocks, right? Broke clocks. Yeah. They're right at least 2 times a day. Fetterman's post comes as Donald Trump was asked on Wednesday about his comments criticizing Democrats who want to abolish ICE or treat them as criminals. Per the outlet, Fetterman has criticized Democrats who abolish immigration and customs enforcement or treat them like criminals. And he said any attack on ICE agents are absolutely unacceptable and terrible. This came up to Trump yesterday, right around the same time where he was making those comments about Epstein. Trump was asked by Peter Doocy about Fetterman and the comments he made. And Trump was like, he was almost taken aback. He had to ask Doocy to repeat what he said because he's like, wait. Who said that? Who said what? This was Donald Trump yesterday.
Who says about ICE to abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that is inappropriate and outrageous. And I told you that was Democrat John Fetterman.
Well, it's, by the way, I assume when you read that, because you paused in the middle, you're going to have to read that again without the pause. Could you read that again, please?
To abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that's inappropriate and outrageous.
So he's saying that to treat the people that did the shooting is... Oh, okay, good. Because the way you read it, it really was the opposite.
I mean, even Trump is a little bit surprised. He's like, oh, it was a Democrat saying something about ICE. It has to be negative. He's like, can you read that for me again? Wait. He was being positive? He was being supportive? Oh, well, that's a horse of a different color. That's a completely different... It's a completely different thing. I didn't expect that.
That's okay. That's all right. I think that's what he meant. No, the new John Fetterman is exactly what you said. He's right.
I love how he said the new John Fetterman. Post-stroke Fetterman is our favorite Fetterman. He's definitely become more based as he's recovered from that stroke. But it's not just Fetterman. Like you kind of expected from Fetterman. You know, we heard his comments with the anti-Israel protesters, and he's common sense, right? Like Fetterman is the most middle as far as Democrats go. But I was surprised to hear that another Democrat was being almost downright complimentary about Trump and his border enforcement. This time it comes from John Kerry. Yeah, sure, John Kerry. The Heinz heiress, John Kerry. What? Anytime I think about John Kerry, I just think about like a guy overstuffing himself with caviar. That's John Kerry to me, and I don't want to think anything else. You know what he said? You know what he said about Donald Trump?
I got to hear it.
He said, yes, Trump was right. Yeah, I swear. Trump was right on border policy, says former Democrat presidential candidate John Kerry in an interview to the BBC. Yes. The problem is we should have been right. Oh, yeah, but yeah, you've been wrong.
You had your chance, buddy.
Yeah, honestly, many chances. The former party heavyweight, Breitbart reports, has little sway inside the Democrat Party, whose leaders just released a plan that would flood America with massive inflow of Indians seeking white-collar and blue-collar jobs, housing, and political power. Kerry's admission comes as Trump faces renewed pressure from business groups to reopen jobs to economic migrants. But he said, Democrats need to be talking about what Americans do care about, Kerry said in his BBC interview. He said, immigration, I said this very directly to President Biden. I think the Democrats have missed on this issue of immigration for some years. They just allowed the border to continue to be sieged. Under siege. He said under siege. He said the first thing any president should say, any president or anybody in public life, is without a border protected, you don't have a nation. I'm sorry.
What?
When did John Kerry become a right-wing extremist? He sounds like one of those Christian nationalists. Have you heard of these folks? They're very terrifying. Phil Williams always reports on them. It's Christian nationalist. Are they in the room with you right now? He is, actually. I'm a Christian nationalist. Anyway, Immigration. I've said this very directly to Biden. I think the Democrats have been missed on the issue of immigration for years. The first thing any president should say, any president or anybody in public life, is without a border protected, you don't have a nation. I believe that. To define your nation, you have to have a border that means something. And there's a reason we have passports. There's a reason we have visas. We have a system. And I wish President Biden had been heard more often saying, well, I'm going to enforce the law.
Makes sense.
It's one thing Biden wasn't too keen on. Enforcing the law. But John Kerry, holy cow. Holy cow. I mean, what are we going to hear next? Are they going to move the Heinz ketchup factories back into America?
I was getting ready to say, has the ketchup fermented or something?
Yeah, I have no idea. How long do you have to leave the ketchup in a trash bag to make prison wine? The people, inquiring minds, want to know. He said the BBC reporter then at this point interrupts John Kerry, okay, to say he was giving Trump the political opportunity to claim his border policy was correct. At which point John Kerry responded, well, he was right. Oh my gosh. Trump was right. Trump was right about everything. Even John Kerry knows. It's crazy. Kerry took the hint, though, when the BBC interviewer pushed back, and he wants to get some Orange Man bad quotes on the record, and revived a skewed Democratic narrative to blame Trump for Biden's disaster. And he said, now, admittedly, the Republicans joined with the Democrats in putting a bill together. They were ready to pass the bill, and Donald Trump called them up and said, don't do this, don't pass the bill, you'll help the Democrats. He didn't want a solution. You know, the funny part is, after John Kerry said Trump was right about everything, he then went back to the Democrat narrative, but it's like, hey, bro, Trump just enforced the laws on the books, and we saw a 94% decrease in border crossers. Year over year, the amount of immigrants that were releasing into this country went to a big old goose egg from 60,000 in May of 2024. May of 2025, it was a goose egg. Same for June, another goose egg, putting zeros on the board. But it is pretty wild. And it's a sign of the times where your old school Democrats understand that the direction currently of the party isn't palatable for the majority of Americans.
Obviously.
It's not, and it hasn't been for a while. The majority of Americans support mass deportations, and we see this time after time in poll after poll. And we have a new July survey from Signal. They found that, again, a majority of Americans support mass deportations. The survey asked respondents, do you support or oppose deporting those illegally in the United States back to their country of origin? Across the board, 61% of Americans said they support doing so. Of those, nearly 41% strongly support. Meanwhile, 34.7% disapprove deporting illegal aliens back to their country of origin. Of those, nearly 17% strongly oppose. Opinions vary sharply on party lines, though. For example, it was 94% of Republicans support deportations, and it was 68% of Democrats opposing deportations. But I would argue 32% of Democrats being in favor of this it's a pretty big deal. Got a lot of people waiting on the line to talk. Gray, Ray, hang on, guys. We'll get to your calls next. It's 11:20. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 11:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, and I'm here for my friends at USS United Structural Systems. You know these guys, and if you need them, you need to call them immediately. I mean, sure, you can ignore the waterproofing issues at your house. You can ignore the foundation repair, and it's easy to do so. It's like, oh, it's just a little water in the basement, just some damp walls. It'll dry up, and it will, but when it rains again, it comes back again, and these small problems will never stay small. If you let that water keep getting into your basement, your crawl space, it's going to lead to mold. It's going to lead to wood rot. It's going to lead to foundation issues. You don't need that. What you need to do is call an expert, and you need to call USS. They've helped over 30,000 homeowners across Middle Tennessee with these exact same problems. So whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, you want an expert showing up, not a sales guy. You want somebody worried about your crawl space, not worried about their quota. That's the difference with USS. These guys stand behind their warranties. They'll leave you with one that's good for life. That's how much confidence they have in the work they do. That's how they've stayed in the game for over 30 years. If you see the signs, don't wait. Call USS today. 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems, keeping homes dry and stable. Online at USSTN.com.
All right, drivers, the 40 westbound off-ramp to go 40 westbound on the South Loop is still shut down due to that overturned tractor-trailer from this morning. Looks like that is going to be the case probably until 3 o'clock today. Meanwhile, we've got another issue on 24 eastbound in Rutherford County. Eastbound 24 is closed due to a crash between Waldron Road, exit 64, and Sam Ridley Parkway, exit 66. And an hours-long standoff between Clarksville police and a man barricaded inside a home with children is over. We'll tell you how it ended at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I got my 5-year-old in studio today. Soon to be 6. Soon to be 6. You're not 6 yet.
He's getting up there.
Get over here, man. Get over here. This is Bishop Hand. Come here, man. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Bishop's going to be hanging out. We're going to WWF tonight.
Yes, sir.
Friday night SmackDown, Bridgestone Arena. We're going to get a hotel for the night. We're going to have a boys' night.
Yes, sir.
We're very excited. One night. It's going to be awesome. We're pumped.
Yeah.
We got a couple people waiting on the line for some phone calls. Ray in Gainsboro, you're up first. What's up, Ray? Hey,
hey, just wanted to wish the youngin' a happy birthday.
What do you say, Bishop?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Also, in reference calling earlier, you had something about the Minneapolis immigration thing and arresting a bunch of pedophiles.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, if you go to their country and break their laws, you end up in their jail.
Amen. Thank you. You're absolutely right, Ray. It's a weird concept. You have to follow the rules in the country that you're in.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey, appreciate the call. Thanks, Ray. That's Ray in Gainesboro. Let's go to Gray in Nashville. What's up, Gray?
I think it's Trey with the
Trey. Sorry, man. My bad. What you got, Trey?
No bad. Well, first thing, real quick, you need to take that birthday boy to 7-Eleven because all slushies are free today at 7-Eleven all day.
Whoa! Did you hear that, Bishop? 7-Eleven is doing free slushies today. Is it like bring your own cup?
No, I don't know what it is.
Do they
I
do
know
that
it's
anymore?
7-Eleven store, free slushies. But
Yeah.
Please do it after, please.
Yeah, we'll go right after. Thanks for the tip, Trey.
there's another question I have for you for the big beautiful bill, if you can help me.
Okay.
Okay, now it says no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't get overtime per se because I get paid commission. So let's say that I make $1,800 like every 2 weeks. Anything over that is overpay. Is that non-taxable too, or does that not work like that?
I am not sure. That's a good question. I'll look into it for you, though. I'll definitely dig into it, and I'll try and get some answers on the other side of the break, all right?
Yeah, because that's overpay, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like to me like it should work. Yeah.
And overtime is overpay, so it's the same thing. So I was wondering for us commission people out here, what about us on the overpay? And we get no taxes on our overpay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna find some info for you. All right, man.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great day. Back in.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you. God bless. That's Trey in Nashville, not Gray. Trey. Although Gray's a pretty cool name, right?
Gray's not a bad name.
It's like the Costanza 7. You know what I mean? So. I'll tell you what. So, do you remember? So they're doing free Slurpees at 7-Eleven today. But is it bring your own cup day?
I don't know, man.
Do you remember the hysteria that happened when they did the bring your own cup thing for a while? I had a friend. I kid you not. I was working in Detroit. We were at a top 40 radio station.
Yeah.
And she brought in a kiddie pool.
A kiddie pool.
She brought in a kiddie pool. She said, "This is my cup." They weren't very happy with her.
Yeah. They probably. I bet you they didn't fill it up for her, huh?
No, they didn't count that one. But there was some time in there. People were like filling up like gallon jugs of Slurpees. It's gross. It's too much Slurpee.
Yeah, that's a lot of Slurpee, man.
Yeah, that's way too much. Dan and Steve on the Slurpee. What's up, guys?
What's up? Happy birthday, Bishop. Happy birthday.
Say thanks, guys.
Speedway is also, they merged with 7-Eleven because Alabama doesn't have 7-Elevens, but they have Speedways.
Okay.
So you can go to either one.
All right. You can go to Speedway, too. Maybe it's the Speedway we stop at. Maybe it's 7-Eleven. Appreciate the tip, guys. Thanks so much. We got a lot to cover. We got the lightning round on the way. You guys, are you excited about the lightning round? What's that? Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. That's how people pretty much respond to it. What is that? We're going to run through all the stories we didn't have a chance to get to on the other side of the break, plus give you a chance for your last-minute hot takes and comments on anything we talked about and anything we didn't. 615-737-9986. After the newscast with Ken Weaver, it's the lightning round on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And drivers, we have got some major issues in Nashville today if you're trying to get downtown. I'm going to run down the list for you right now. We've got a brand new closure. This is going to be in Rutherford County. 24 eastbound is closed due to a crash between exit 64 and 66. That's between Waldron Road and Sam Ridley Parkway in Laverne. And we do not have any indication as to when that may be reopened. This is in addition to the crash near downtown that has the 40 westbound off-ramp to continue 40 westbound on the South Loop still shut down. And that's going to be shut down at least until 3 o'clock today, we understand. Then if you're going to be driving in Nashville this weekend, starting tomorrow, the North Korean War Veterans Bridge is going to be down to 2 lanes, both directions, because they're going to be prepping it to close it on Sunday. This will be for shooting of the new TV show 911 Nashville. So starting tomorrow, the Korean Veterans Bridge is going to be reduced to 2 lanes going both directions to prep for Sunday's all-day shooting of a scene for 911 Nashville's TV show.
Is the scene going to be like a pedal car flips over on, like a little pedal pub flips over on Broadway?
Well, it's funny that you asked that. Apparently, there is going to be like an Airstream trailer that is on top of the bridge.
Really?
Yeah, and they say, remember, if you see this, it's just a stunt.
Okay.
It's not real.
Oh, man. That's going
But
to be
you
cool.
know people are going to wonder.
People are going to freak out.
They're going to call 911.
Yep.
Just like the show, which I stopped watching a long time ago. Anyway, an hours-long standoff between Clarksville police and a man barricaded inside a home with children ended with the man in custody. Here's police.
About 8:15, after negotiating with him, he come out peacefully and released the children.
Yeah, this man's wife was able to get out of that home safely prior to the standoff. It started around 2 o'clock this morning. It was at a home along Needmore Road and Pat Drive there in Clarksville. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Chris Hand here for my friends at the Glock store. Love the guys at the Glock store. Glock is the most popular handgun in America. I actually saw a story where ICE agents are actually switching over to Glocks. Did you see that? They used to do the Sig Sauers, and they're going to stop doing that. They're switching over to Glocks. There's 3 reasons why you need to switch to Glock 2, and you need to buy your handgun at the Glock store. First, they have the biggest selection on all the Glock handguns, so the biggest selection in the country. When they say every Glock in stock, they're talking about every version of every model. The custom Glocks that they have, true works of art. It's worth the drive just to check them out. Your second reason, the people at the Glock store are not just Glock experts, they're Glock aficionados. They love talking Glocks, accessories, performance products. You'll never feel rushed or like you're asking too many questions. The employees, some of them drive down from Kentucky every single day just because they love working at the Glock store. Third thing that you're going to love about the Glock store, customer service is unmatched. Here's an example. If the door is open for business, there's a certified gunsmith on duty, and they'll install your enhancement or performance parts for free while you wait. That's just 3 of the many, 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 many reasons the Glock store is my favorite gun store, and if you visit them just once, it's going to be your favorite gun store too. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, always open online, glockstore.com.
Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking. I lost 70 pounds and my friend lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months.
Wow, what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99.
Are angels real or a figment of the imagination? Angel means messenger. Angel or angels are mentioned over 350 times in the Bible, and because all Scripture is God-breathed, we know that angels are real and were created to glorify and to serve God. When Joseph doubted how Mary became pregnant and that she was to give birth to Jesus, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. "Do not be afraid. The child within her has been conceived by the Holy Spirit." Angels bring God's messages to people. Protect God's people, offer encouragement, give guidance, carry out punishment, patrol the earth, and fight the forces of evil. But there are also bad angels. Satan is an angel of high rank and led many angels in a rebellion against God. Although angels are powerful, they are not to be worshipped. Learn more about good and bad angels by scanning the QR code.
It's 11:38 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We got my son Bishop in here, who is 5. This is his last day as a 5-year-old. He's going to be 6 tomorrow.
Woo!
Big hype. We're going to wrestling tonight.
Wrestling, yes, sir.
Yeah, he just looked at me and said, I already know that. I was telling the people, pal. I was telling the people. Love this kid. I'm glad that you came. Thanks for coming today, buddy. He's like, yeah, I'm glad I came too, Dad. I'm glad I came too.
He's got the sport coat on and everything, man.
Yeah, he's looking sharp, man. He's
He
looking
is.
sharp. But without further ado, it is time for everybody's favorite segment of the day. It's time for the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
Yes, it's the lightning round, my friends. 11:39, and we're jumping right into it. All the stories that wouldn't fill a segment, stories that we didn't have a chance to get to, and anything you want to add. Last-minute hot takes about things we talked about, things we didn't talk about. 615-737-9986. This is the lightning round. All right, got a story here. First story of the lightning round. Donald Trump reflecting on Butler, Pennsylvania in a new interview. We are 2 days away from that assassination attempt that happened July 13th, 2024. It's crazy that we are 2 days away from the year anniversary of that. Donald Trump is going to be giving an interview over the weekend with Laura Trump. It's going to be an exclusive interview on Fox News. This clip has been making the rounds.
Well, it was unforgettable. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I got whacked. There's no question about that. And fortunately got down quickly. And people were screaming, and I got down quickly, fortunately, because I think they shot 8 bullets. And one got me, and one got another one, and one got another one, and one killed Corey, the firefighter, great guy. And, we had a tremendous, massive crowd. Tens of thousands of people were there. And our sniper, within less than 5 seconds, was able to get him from a long distance with one shot. If he didn't do that, you would have had an even worse situation. Well,
yeah, I mean, listen, it felt like divine intervention that day, and almost a year removed now, it still feels like divine intervention that day in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have seen some of these Secret Service agents suspended 10 to 42 days. I don't think that is anywhere near what they need, but one Secret Service has been named in the agents that have been suspended. I believe it was 6 were suspended, but the one that was named, her name is Miossoty Perez, and the lawyer for her confirmed she was one of the agents that was suspended. She was pictured protecting then candidate Donald Trump as he arrived at the event where he was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania. Law enforcement sources said that she was tasked with being sent to the site in advance of the campaign event and tasked with helping secure it. So, yeah, well, you didn't. So you should be fired, not suspended. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm sure you probably actually agree. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. There it is. There it is. Sometimes the lightning's a little delayed. That's fine. That's fine. Hey, if I was making an accusation, hey, can you put on earmuffs for a second? Just do earmuffs for a second. Just earmuffs. If I was making an accusation that the president of France's wife was a man, and then I was sued for defamation, and then I was cleared of defamation. What does that lead you to think about Brigitte Macron, the wife of the French president? That's exactly what happened. 2 women convicted of defaming French First Lady Brigitte Macron by saying she was, earmuffs, born a man, were today sensationally cleared on an appeal. This is wild. Judges sitting at the Paris Appeal Court on Thursday ruled that Amandine Roy, a 53-year-old clairvoyant, and Natasha Ray, 49, and a blogger, had every legal right to make the sulfurous allegations. Both had claimed they were subjected to intimidation by authorities as ultra-protected members of the Paris establishment tried to cover up a state secret. Whew. Whew. Now, this comes on the heels of Candace Owens saying that Donald Trump asked her to stop talking about Brigitte Macron. Yeah. Candace Owens said this on her podcast. Now, Candace Owens had been going on for a while about Brigitte Macron and what's going on behind the scenes. And she revealed on her podcast that President Trump called her to let her know that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, wants her to stop reporting on on his wife. Yeah. This story's crazier and crazier, man. It's never going away. There's nothing that you can do that would make me change my mind about which gender that individual is. So that's another story for you in the lightning round. You think you could change my mind? I don't think you could, Bishop. I don't think you could. Plus, you had your earmuffs on, so you didn't get all the facts. I got another story here from Scott Jennings. This happened last night on CNN. This is a wild exchange. Rep Ritchie, he's a congressional rep out of the Bronx. He's a congressman for the New York 15. They got into it over how many illegal aliens are on Medicaid. Scott Jennings and Rep Ritchie. And Scott Jennings called him a liar over and over and over again to his face on CNN, and it was savage. Scott Jennings roasted him. Listen to this.
I don't think it's unpopular at all to try to reform an entitlement program, to save it for the people who need it, to keep illegal aliens from getting welfare benefits they shouldn't be getting, to encourage people to go to work. I don't think these things should be shied away from by Republicans.
None of that is true. First of all, I think Medicaid
It's exactly true. It's exactly what's in the bill.
Federal law prohibits undocumented immigrants
Then why are
from receiving
1.4
Medicaid
million
benefits.
on it? Why are
That's a figment of your imagination.
It's a figment of the CBO's documents.
Let me explain the facts.
It's in the CBO documents.
I'll explain the facts.
Is it or not?
Let me explain. It's not, actually.
No, you are lying.
No, that is not. It is not true.
Okay, hang on a second.
Inventing facts out of thin air.
All right.
So Medicaid is.
Hold on, guys.
Medicaid.
State program.
Medicaid.
Hold on.
Medicaid.
I mean, he said you are literally lying, and Scott Jennings actually gets agitated. I want to see Scott in the Senate. I think he'd be a great fit, and I hope that he lands that seat. But you have Rep Ritchie, the congressman out of New York, saying illegal aliens on Medicaid is a figment of your imagination. To which Scott Jennings replies, "It's in the CBO documents. It's a figment of the CBO documents. Did you even read them? You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar." Roasted. This guy didn't read the CBO documents. No, nobody in Congress reads anything. Come on. Got another story for you in the lightning round. Cory Booker, he's upset that James Comey and John Brennan could have their lives destroyed by and I quote, weaponized DOJ. That sounds familiar.
There's so much fear, which is part of the Trump Kash Patel. What they want to do is they want to intimidate and threaten people. Look at what they're doing now with Comey. This is all a way to weaponize the law. If you stand up against us, if you speak against us, we will bring the full course of the law. And even if we don't win, we're going to destroy your lives by causing you hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal bills, reputational damages. We'll send a Twitter horde against you.
Oh, yeah. Never heard of anything like that before. Never heard of anything like that before. We'll weaponize DOJ. We'll intimidate you. Oh, like, I don't know, raiding your home and rifling through your wife's underwear drawer. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that happened to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, well, even if we don't win, we'll bankrupt you and we'll make your life a living you-know-what. Oh, that sounds familiar. Douglas Mackey, the meme maker who just got off on an appeal. Yeah. Even if we don't win, we'll make your life a living you-know-what. Yep. That sounds familiar.
We're threatening with Twitter hordes now?
Yeah, and we're threatening with Twitter hordes. Yep. This is where we're at. And they don't understand the blatant hypocrisy that they're putting on the screen on MSNBC. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. Got another story for you here in the lightning round? There it is. This one kind of piggybacks on some of the Epstein documents that have been going around. It is from Laura Loomer, so you do have to take it with a grain of salt. But at times, her reporting is pretty good. And Laura Loomer is saying that there are some issues over at the DOJ. And the issues at the DOJ are that everyone is upset with Pam Bondi. Laura Loomer posted this morning. She wrote, "Scoop. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino are livid with Pam Bondi over her DOJ memo and lack of transparency from her office regarding the Jeffrey Epstein files." Sources tell Laura Loomer that Dan Bongino is taking today off from his job as Deputy Director of the FBI, and there's now speculation on whether or not he will ever return to his job at the FBI over his disgust with Blondie's lack of transparency and handling of the Epstein files. Ooh, wouldn't that be spicy? I don't know if it's true. And you got to take this reporting with a grain of salt. She's talking about sources and what those sources are saying to her. So it is a game of telephone. But could you imagine if Bongino walked away? Could you imagine? She goes on to report, Pam Bondi has brought a total embarrassment to President Trump, J.D. Vance, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel. She also lied to the American people. I'm told Kash and Bongino are furious with Blondie about the blowback she has caused with them with her lack of transparency. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino should call for Blondie's public resignation today to save themselves and to also push for full transparency into the Epstein files. This is an issue the American people care deeply about. Agreed. Someone needs to be fired for this. Giving Blondie courtesy to resign is more than she deserves. Trump should just fire her. I agree with that last statement. Trump should just fire her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dan, are you furious enough with Pam Bondi that you may leave your gig? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. I think that's the only way that you could restore any credibility. Poor Bongino, man. He railed against this stuff for years and years and years. And then as soon as he gets in, it's like, no, Epstein killed himself. Did he?
Coincidence? I think not.
That's kind of how we all feel. So that's a crazy story. We'll follow that. Only time will tell if that reporting is true or not, right? Only time will tell. So it's going to take some time. I got another story here for you in the lightning round. The largest teachers union took aim at Donald Trump, and they wanted to really just beat him down. Orange man bad. So they wanted to call him a fascist, right? This is the largest teachers union in the country, the National Education Association, the NEA. They represent 3 million teachers nationwide. So they wanted to roast Donald Trump, right? With what's going on with Title IX and not wanting boys and girls sports, we can't keep letting the orange man get away with it. So they were gonna give it to him. So they sent out a letter, okay? And they sent out this letter on Sunday. They said, NEA pledges to defend democracy against Trump's embrace of fascism. And they misspelled fascism.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Oh, that's embarrassing. If these kids could read, they'd be embarrassed. Jeez. NEA. It's the largest teachers union in the country, and they couldn't spell fascism right. It's really indicative of the issue that we have in American education, is it not? It is. It is. It's all about feelings. Corey DeAngelis is the one who spotted the error on social media. That's who I saw spot it, and he was mocking them. He said, yes, the union that claims to represent educators couldn't even spell fascism correctly in its official resolution attacking the president. The irony is almost too rich for a parody. Yep, it is. Irony. Couldn't spell fascism right. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. This is the state of American education. That does it today for the lightning round. We'll be back with more on Monday, but we're also going to check in with Chad Benson. He's coming in. Let us know what's coming up on the Chad Benson Show, as always, as we do every day this time. And Bishop, I just want to say, man, thank you so much for being the best co-host I've ever had, dude. You've done a great job today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and happy birthday.
Thanks you.
We're going to have the best time tonight at wrestling. You big hype?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're going to have a great time.
I'm hyper than I was today.
We're even more hype. It's building, right? We're going to crescendo tonight. Deal?
That was not bending.
Yeah, okay. All right. I love this guy. Hey, have a great time with your family this weekend. I know I'm going to do the same. We're excited for wrestling tonight. We'll check in with Chad Benson when we get back. It's 11:53 on what station? 99.7 WTN. It's 11:57, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, in studio with Chad Benson and my 5-year-old, soon-to-be 6-year-old Bishop Hand.
What's up, Bishop?
Call me 5.
Well, you're 5. You got about 11 more hours. 12 hours and 3 minutes until you're 6, man. We got to keep it legit.
Yeah, trust me, you'll want those minutes back later on in life.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Chad? What are you doing, man?
Nothing, just checking out the wrestling.
Oh yeah, we brought in Bishop brought in some of his wrestling figures that he got for his birthday.
Trying to check it out, trying to see, because that guy Gunther is going to wrestle tonight.
Yeah, he's in. They're putting the belt on the line. Championship match
Now,
tonight.
who's he wrestling against?
Jey Uso tonight.
Is Uso good, or is he just somebody that's going to get whooped up on?
People like him. He could win. You think he's going to get whooped up?
Whooped up. Gunther's going to win?
Okay.
Yeah, based on this. I don't see a Jey Uso doll.
No, there's no. It's an action figure, Chad.
Action figure. You know what? My brother, who's 19, is beyond into wrestling.
Oh yeah,
and he's got like all the belts. He's got full like hundreds of these. And
really?
Oh yes.
Does he have like the real metal belts?
He does.
I love the memes. So I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. And there's a meme online for wrestling fans. It's like, I won't tell you that I've won the lottery, but there will be signs.
There will be signs.
And it's a wall full of all the championship belts from back in the day.
So, yeah, he's got all that stuff.
That's cool.
Man, and my old on-air partner in Arizona, in Phoenix, like the biggest wrestling fan in the world, like throws parties,
really
flies all over the country to watch wrestling.
That's cool.
Oh, it's just crazy. Sure, I'll have one. Thanks.
Sharing pretzels with Chad Benson.
That's how we roll, huh?
I mean, even on his birthday, the kid is so giving.
He's a giver.
Kind.
He's a
so
giver.
Kind. What are you talking about on the show today?
Wrestling. It's all wrestling today.
Let's go.
Ken and I were talking about doing tariffs, but we decided maybe not as much as we once thought.
We should do a tariff on a pole match.
Oh, my goodness me. That's right. Each one of them should have to fight for tariffs against whoever America picks.
Yeah, I love it.
Right? That'd be great. Yep. Oh, well, somebody went down. Gunther crushing souls. And this guy's the big star, right? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yeah. He's the big guy. We're excited, man. We're gonna have a blast. Chad Benson's is in next. I'm gonna be out of here. If you're at wrestling tonight, I'm gonna be the guy in the Austin 316 shirt. So find me.
Woo!
In the nosebleeds. That'll be me.
You too. You've already got it ready.
Yeah. Let's go. 12 o'clock. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.